My goal for this event is that you leave this event with some techniques, perhaps some mind techniques that you can use to help reduce stress, reduce anxiety, reduce depression. In my day job, I'm a licensed psychotherapist, so this is kind of what I do, but with something like this, we're going to add in music, we're going to add in Qigong, which is like Tai Chi stuff, and participate if you want. But I think it's a great way to learn something. You learn something, then you do some movement, then you listen, then you do it again, and So the idea is to learn some valuable stuff. I mean, besides just raising your vibration during this session and feeling better. I'm also a student of hermetics. I guess that's what I mentioned. That in hermetics, one of the keys is transmutation. Hermetics, first of all, is a ancient Egyptian philosophy of the mind. Actually, it's really fascinating. It's very in line with quantum physics and modern physics and all that. But in hermetics, there's two basic states of mind. There's the lower state of mind and the elevated state of mind. And the way to learn, if you learn to go from that lower state of mind into the elevated state of mind, that's called transmutation. Transmutation. And the elevated state of mind, I should mention, is where you're feeling inspired, relaxed, content on your path. That's the elevated state of mind. The lower state of mind is when we have that more anxiety and depression and, that. So through some of these techniques we'll be working on, and through this session, ideally you're going to learn techniques that'll be able to take you from that lower state to transmutate into the more elevated state of consciousness, and this is stuff I work with all the time for myself, all the time. And I've been training in Tai Chi for 30 years now, and meditation and all that stuff. I'm way into it. And my wife Jay's been working in yoga for 20 years. And I guess that's my spiel about myself.
Okay, so I'm Jaylyn. I wanted to do this today because I feel like group meditation is the most powerful thing that anyone can do for their own healing journey. So that was the main intention, that I wanted to make a possibility for whoever wanted to participate. I am trained in yoga, and Qigong, Reiki, massage, astrology. That's been my healing journey, is just learn as much as I possibly can about how do I heal, because I want to heal really badly. So it's been my whole inspiration for the last 25 years, is how do I heal? That's all I want. That's all I want. So in the meantime, I've learned a lot of really cool things, and I want to share them with as many people as I possibly can. So that's why we're here. And I think we'll start with, the song that we're going to start with is called Just Be. And it's all about becoming present, coming into the moment, and you're welcome to sing along. Don't feel pressured if you don't want to. But the words are just be, I am here now, we are here now, wholly now, only now. And that's it. So you can meditate, you can dance, you can do whatever you wish, you can sing along. And just find your center in this moment, breathing deeply. Notice how your spine feels. Notice how your heart center feels. And taking one more deep, present breath. And we're back. What I want to share as a tool for that I use all the time is I am here now, which is where that song came from. And it's very, very simply, inhale in your mind, here I. Exhale in your mind, here am. Inhale in your mind, here. And exhale in your mind, here now. And it has changed my life. Whenever I'm feeling really, the wheels are spinning, there's smoke coming out my ears, I am here now is priceless. So how about we just try that for a moment or two, maybe 4 or 5 breaths, just really getting into I am here now. So it's best to always go with your breath, but I'll just guide in case you need the reminder. As you inhale in your mind, you feel I. As you exhale in your mind, feel am. As you inhale in your mind, feel here. And as you exhale in your mind, feel now. And just repeat that. We'll do a couple more rounds of that and feel into it. And after you conclude your next I am here now, then just feeling into your body, noticing what do you feel, what do you notice. That's just a very small little glimpse of what this mantra can do for you. Other ways that you can use that same tool is see those words on this particular part of your body. Like if you want to be more in your heart, then you feel those words in your heart. If you're having a lot of anxiety in your belly, then you can bring those words to your belly, and so on and so forth. If you have an injury, you bring those words to the injury. So that's some ways to use I am here now. What's your favorite tool?
Well, the basic mindfulness tool for me, or just overall what it means to be mindful, is to be watching your thoughts from a mindful perspective, which is called metacognition, which means cognition of cognition. And if we can do that mindfully, what we notice, we begin to notice our thoughts, and from that perspective, we separate ourselves from our thoughts. A big mistake that occurs in our culture is we self-identify with our thoughts. Well, those thoughts are me. It's like, no, they're thoughts. They're out here. And then as I am the mindful witness to my thoughts, I'm able to reboot my thoughts if I need to. Reboot my mind. I can turn the thoughts off. Or I can re-steer my mind too. But step one is the metacognition, the noticing of the thoughts. And that's a technique you can just use throughout the day. Just constantly watching your thoughts. And being, one of the things, there's basically two things to look out for when you're watching your thoughts. One of the things is rumination, which is just the mind is just chattering relentlessly. Just keeps going and going. And that's, a lot of us have that problem in this culture because we have so much data coming at us. You know, it's like information overload. And our minds were not designed to be computers. You know, we're supposed to do more than process information, right? I mean, and one thing we do very well is we can analyze things, right? So we have the analytical portion of our mind, but we also have this awareness, stillness portion of our mind. And if we can find balance between the two, that's when the anxiety goes down and the depression goes down. Because if our minds are just ruminating constantly, or most of the time, if there's just this chatter going on in the minds, what happens is our minds get agitated. Because like I said, our minds are not designed to be, computers. And just think of it throughout human history. I mean, we've been walking through the woods and, looking for plants and animals, and we've had a lot of stillness in our minds. So a lot of these techniques we're working on are ways to find stillness again. And we can use these techniques when we notice that we're overthinking, we're engaged in rumination, and we can go into the I am here now, for example, or go into other techniques that we'll be working on and then find more balance in our minds. Another thing to watch out for with the metacognition is you want to be aware of any kind of negative self-talk. And that's something that is super common in our culture. I think we've been trained in a way to engage in negative self-talk, to feel insecure, so we'll want to go buy things or whatever, and it's just kind of like this messaging that's been driven into our subconscious, since I've been little, at least. But noticing when you're engaging in negative self-talk, and the idea is if you're using mindful metacognition, you just label it. You're looking at it from a scientific perspective. So you notice it, negative self-talk, and that old habit again. You kind of recognize it. Once you get used to the metacognition, you recognize it, and then you can ask yourself, is it serving me right now? And it's probably no, and then if no, you can try and reboot it, try and quiet it down, try and re-steer it. One technique that's really simple is just trying to talk to yourself like you're talking to your best friend, right? And getting in that habit, practicing that. Instead of talking to yourself like you're talking to your worst enemy, which a lot of us do, which I can do that. But one way to shift out of that is just getting in the habit of encouraging self-talk. So I try to encourage myself. I'm consciously taking control of that chatter in my mind. That's one thing nobody really taught me, is you could control what's going on up there. You just don't have to roll with it. Because if we don't notice it and we don't try and change it, guess what? It's not going to change. It's just going to be the same story over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And the same feelings associated with that story, which may be depression or anxiety. So noticing it, talking to yourself like you're talking to your best friend. You got this. That's what I'll say to myself. You got this, brother. You got this, man. You can do this. Or if I make a mistake, I have something that I go through as well, which we'll go through later today. And I guess that's a mindfulness skill that I try and use all the time, really. And it all begins with the metacognition, really. Because if we're unaware of it, we're never going to change it. And the idea is you want to be in charge of your thoughts and your habits rather than your thoughts being in charge of you. So this is a question of sovereignty, of freedom, Am I going to be stuck in the old habits, the old patterns? Or am I going to create new habits? So that's, and it's empowering. Once we're able to take charge of that, at least somewhat, once we're able to affect our state of consciousness, our self-talk or our cognition, then we're empowered. Then we're empowered. And this feeling of empowerment is really key to psychological wellness, psychological health. If I feel disempowered, that's when I have more anxiety. And if I'm disempowered over my own thoughts, that's where it starts. So if I can become empowered over my own thoughts, then that's a huge step forward towards just psychologically feeling better and being more in charge of your destiny and being able to reach your destiny. Yeah.
Okay, so the reason why we called this the Healing Hearts is one, because it's almost Valentine's Day, and self-love is probably the most important thing we have. We can love others, but it's hardest to love ourselves. So I've studied Dr. Joe Dispenza. I don't know if that rings a bell for anybody. Amazing doctor. If you haven't heard of him, I would definitely look into it. He's had a lot of spontaneous healings and gathers people by the 1,500, all in big rooms, and they do meditation for a week, and people just spontaneously heal. So if you're curious about healing, Dr. Joe Dispenza is a really good one to look up. One thing that I think has changed my life studying him over the last 5 years is this idea of heart coherence and brain coherence. We want to get these two computers going at the same time. We want them to beat on the same beat. And there's 3 brains we have. We have the brain, the heart brain, and the gut brain. And these 3 work together. They're all interconnected. But at the same time, the heart doesn't need the gut, and it doesn't need the brain. So, we know that from people going in a coma. The heart will keep beating. So, how do we get our heart and our brain to be friends? And some of it is the self-talk and the metacognition, super, super key stuff, right? But there's some simple tools of just putting your hand on your heart when you're feeling really like the world is crumbling, and what do you do? Generally, when we feel like some instant grief, we just naturally go here, or we naturally go here. It's like we need our own chi to help us come back to center. So simply, one of the sleeping tools that we use and we teach to others, it's yoga, is one hand on the heart and one hand on the navel. And you just feel that energy of your once umbilical cord, and you feel the heart center. And this can very simply bring you back to center and help you fall asleep at night. So that's dealing with 2 brains, right? And how do you get this brain to be involved? Well, we calm it down through breath and body awareness. So the more we go, oh, how does my heartbeat feel? How does my gut feel? How do my legs feel? How do my feet feel? We're coming out of the brain. We're coming out of that, oh, and then I got to do this, and then I was supposed to do that, and oh, that person said this to me, and I wonder how they're feeling. And, like we get all these things going on in our head. We've got to come out of there, but welcoming it all at the same time. We got to be friends with this and yet have some control over what's going on. So that's just one tip I wanted to share, especially if you need it during the meditation. This will be the first Gong meditation that we've done where everyone's not laying down. So it'll be different to be sitting up, but we didn't know how to deal with asking people to bring blankets and pillows and all that. So we figured we'll just figure it out sitting up and see how it goes. So if at any point through any of this, you just need to come to center and, oh, right, I'm here, I'm okay, everything's okay, I'm getting a lot of information, oh, right, I can integrate it into myself. So that's a really good tool. And that's the beginning of heart coherence, is just that awareness. The awareness of this heart brain is really paramount to being able to get in that groove with the brain. So they've done all these studies on meditation, and when the brain and the heart start to be on that same rhythm together, that's when healing begins. So when we're very dysregulated, they're like going like this, and there's a lot of intensity. So breath work can help with that. Also, being with a group that has the intention to get into that coherence helps immensely. So that's why we're all here. So if it's getting too loud, please raise your hand so we know that it's too loud. I don't want anyone having a bad experience because the gong's too loud. To the breath, and just watching your breath first, noticing what your natural breath in this moment feels like. Beginning to breathe Qigong breathing, and as you inhale, draw the navel in slightly, just slightly, and as you exhale, relax the navel, bringing all of your awareness and focus to the navel point. If your mind is busy, you can weave in I am here now with your breath. Noticing what the navel point feels like. Feeling that the gong is creating a container, a sacred container for you to get into that meditative state, get into that heart coherence and brain coherence, and trusting that it is possible. Drawing your focus down to the bladder area, which is in the pelvic bowl, low in the pelvic bowl. The second chakra area. Imagining you can inhale and exhale directly out of this energy point in the body, holding your focus around the bladder. Imagining healing chi gathering here. Breathing fully, deeply, and relaxed. Feeling like a tree in the park, watching everything go on around you with peace and calm. Steady, centered, feeling the breeze. Drawing your awareness to the very pelvic floor, the root chakra area, feeling this energy point. If you can't feel it, imagine that you can feel it. How all of these muscles work together to be your stable base. Feeling the energy at the root chakra, the root energy. Notice how this focus brings awareness to the sits bones, the tailbone, the pelvic floor, the pelvis. tailbone. Noticing the energy here, a part of the root energy. Encouraging your tailbone to relax and unfurl like a fern leaf. Breathing in and out of the tailbone area. Drawing your awareness up the sacrum. The sacrum is the flat part of the back of the hips. And bringing your awareness to the sacrum and in your mind's eye, letting this area soften, letting the tension melt away. Inhaling into and out of the sacrum area. Imagining on your exhales that any tension stored here is leaving through your pores like smoke. Just letting it go. Encouraging them to be relaxed, resting. Up the low back. There's 5 sturdy vertebrae in the low back. Breathing into each one, breathing into the spaces between the vertebrae, breathing into the muscle connections, the nerves, the bones. Slowly drawing your awareness up to the bottom ribs. Once you make your way to the bottom ribs, keeping your focus near the spine, and this is where your kidneys and adrenals are. Soaking your kidneys and adrenals with awareness, kindness, self-love, breathing in and out of the kidneys and adrenals. Focusing your healing chi on the kidneys and adrenals. And then slowly moving up the rib cage. There's 12 pairs of ribs. Slowly breathing into each pair of ribs, the space between the vertebrae, breathing in that self-compassion, awareness. Slowly making your way to the top of the rib cage. Once you make it to the top of the rib cage, and you don't need to speed your way there, but once you make your way there, focusing all of your awareness right on the vertebrae at the bottom of the neck, otherwise known as C7, sending all of your loving awareness into this vertebrae, allowing the shoulders to relax as you focus here. Each breath gentle and full. Breathing in and out of the C7 area. Imagining healing chi gathering at C7, soaking C7 in healing chi. Vertebrae by vertebrae through the 7 vertebrae of the neck, one by one, breathing into the spaces between the vertebrae, soothing, compassionate, loving breath into those spaces between the vertebrae. vertebrae of the neck. Once you make your way to the top vertebrae, then bringing your awareness into the brain stem, right where the brain turns into the spinal cord. And sending your healing chi, focusing your healing chi right at the brain stem. Encouraging your brain to relax deeply. Behind the ears in the center of the brain. This is where your pineal gland is. And imagining that you can find exactly where the pineal gland is. And breathing in and out of this very important gland. Holding it in healing chi, in nurturing, unconditional love. And then drawing your awareness up to the crown of the head. Breathing in and out of the crown. Encouraging your brain to continue to relax deeper and deeper. And then drawing your awareness down to the very center of the brain, around the top of the ears level and the very front of the ears, the back of the temples, and drawing your awareness into the pituitary gland, breathing in and out of the pituitary gland. Imagining here at the pituitary gland that you're receiving the unconditional love of the universe, absorbing this love right into every brain cell, letting your brain be held and nurtured. And then drawing your awareness down to the center of the throat, relaxing your throat, feeling this energy, feeling that you are gathering healing chi at the throat center. Drawing your awareness down to the heart center and being curious where the heart center is. Somewhere along the sternum, the breastbone. Feel into the heart center, breathing in and out of this very energetic center. Noticing what it feels like. Feeling the healing chi gather here. And elevating your own vibration by imagining a joyful moment or a moment of great gratitude, bliss. You can imagine something that's actually happened, or you can just imagine. Bringing to mind the intention that you created, and imagining that this intention has been fulfilled, completed, accomplished. You have successfully completed this intention, whatever it is, and just imagine that you have made it to that finish line, whatever it looks like to you. Feeling what it feels like to have completed such a task. Feel that joy and that gratitude, that sense of success and accomplishment. See it and feel it as vividly as possible. Hold this vibration for several more breaths. See if you can expand this feeling of success and accomplishment, joy, gratitude, bliss into every cell of your body, expanding it down to your fingertips and your toe tips, up to your brain. bringing your awareness back to the heart center. Noticing what you notice. And now drawing your awareness back to the navel point. As you inhale, gently drawing the navel in towards the spine just a little bit. And as you exhale, relax the abdomen. Noticing how you feel in this moment, and as you gently allow your eyes to bat open, see if you can bring that peaceful, calm feeling that you have into this waking moment. Just take your time with it. Slowly bringing yourself back to the here and now. And you just did a 40-minute meditation. Congratulations.
Another really simple mindfulness technique that can really shift consciousness is just repeating the phrase "thank you" in your mind. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And it seems just almost too simple to work, but I've used it like a story I like to tell is when I was getting my tooth drilled in the dentist chair, and I wasn't going to say thank you. I was like, no, this is really a drag. I'm not going to do it. But then I was like, oh, just try it. Just like an experiment, So I started saying thank you as I was getting my tooth drilled. And within 1 second, 2 seconds, my suffering went from an 8 to a 4. Because what I was doing when I say thank you is I direct my mind to seek the positive of the situation. Let's just turn the palms out and bring the heart forward and look up slightly. Feel those ribs expand as you're breathing in. As you're exhaling, you could drop a few thank yous into your consciousness. Breathing in, the ribs are expanding. Exhaling, dropping a couple thank yous in to the consciousness. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just one more breath. Exhaling. And then again, this is about finding empowerment in your own mind over your state of mind. And one time I try and say thank yous every day as first thing when I get up. First thing because my mind has the tendency to get into a whiny place in the morning. It starts reviewing everything I have to do and I don't want to get up, all that. But if I start saying thank yous, then I begin to see the positive in the moment. I'm like, oh, I have a roof over my head. That's cool. So let's turn the palms, bringing the heart forward, breathing in, ribs expanding. Really feel a movement in those ribs underneath your armpits. It's kind of like if you don't use it, you lose it, and we want to be able to expand our ribs. It's really important for taking a full breath. One more breath, breathing in, expanding the ribs. Exhaling, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then stretching up. You can just swing the arms this way for a moment. All right. Just let the hands wind out. Okay.
I'd like to add to that.
Yeah.
So if you'd like to keep standing, you can. If you'd like to keep sitting, you can. But to add to the thank you practice, there's a Qigong move that is for balancing the water element. And so you bring your hands together at the heart center. And the idea is that you move all the way down to the bottom ribs. So we're going to bow and then inhale, roll back up, finding that nice tall posture. And then exhale, bow. So you're just moving with your own breath. And in your mind, repeating the word thank you. So the water element is based in the kidney channels. And the kidneys are hiding behind the bottom ribs. So by bringing flexibility and fluidity into the joints of the thoracic spine, the rib cage, then you get the qi flowing in the kidney channels. You may feel a lot of heat from this one. Oh, you can sit. Oh. I hear you. Just honor yourself wherever you're at. And we'll do 2 more breaths like this. And then pausing in the tall posture. And just taking a few breaths. Thank you, 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 thank you. And let it go.
So there's a sheet up there. I think most of you have it. But it's about what the mind is, what the mind actually is. And we can talk and talk and talk about the mind, but what actually is it? And I like to use a lake analogy for the mind. And you want to imagine the surface of the lake. Just the surface is the conscious mind. So that's our present moment experience. It's what I'm thinking about right now, what I'm feeling, my emotional state right now, the whole thing. It's where my mind is at right now. But the body of the lake, the majority of the lake is the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind it's really critical that we learn to work with our subconscious mind if we want to improve the functioning of our minds. Because our subconscious minds, to a great degree, just kind of run the show, right? It's like when I'm driving a car. Essentially, it's the subconscious mind that can drive the car. My conscious mind can be thinking about a bunch of different things. Can be thinking about the news or singing a song or thinking about the past or the future, but my body keeps driving this car, And it's the subconscious mind that's driving the car primarily. And that's kind of the way our life goes. So if we're not able to get into that subconscious and upgrade the subconscious, we kind of stay stuck in the same old patterns of thinking and behavior. So I've subdivided the subconscious mind into 4 components. And these components overlap each other, but they're distinct nonetheless. And one of those components is the cognitive memory. Our memories of the past, how we can remember things, remember somebody's address or our memory. Another component to the subconscious mind is our procedural memory. And that's kind of like driving a car or walking. For example, when I'm walking, my subconscious mind just tells my body how to move. It's a procedure that I'm familiar with. It's not like I have to think consciously, okay, lift this leg up, move it forward, set it down. It just happens. That's procedural memory, which is a big deal. Because if we can improve our procedural memory, we can just develop really healthier habits of dealing with life. For example, I was talking about the optimal breathing, and we're breathing in. Just take an optimal breath right now if you want. Just feel the ribs expand. And lengthen the exhale. Yeah, take another breath in. Ribs expand. Lengthen the exhale. You notice, your body relaxes. You're getting more oxygen into your brain. It's kind of like a secret superpower you can access anytime, any place, And for me, I try and keep coming back to the optimal breathing as much as possible, but what I'm trying to develop is the procedural memory of when I'm stressed out, I automatically go into the optimal breathing. And I do that through training. I try and optimally breathe just periodically throughout the day. And then when I can remember when I'm stressed, I go into it and it helps take the edge off. It helps clear my mind, helps get my mind to that place of relaxed clarity. That's an example, and if we're able to do that, then we're actually getting into the subconscious and reprogramming that aspect of our minds. Another part of the mind is our subject library. That's part of the subconscious, and it's like what we're interested in. And we have a limited amount of shelf space. And we get to, ultimately, we can choose what subjects we have, what books we have in our interest library. And that's another aspect that you can really work with. For example, for myself, over the years, I've been into things that aren't so beneficial for me, like politics, for example. So I'm trying to reduce the amount of books in my interest on politics, and I'm adding books on hermetics and manifesting and, Tai Chi and all that. So I'm working with my subject library that's in my subconscious mind. I'm trying to add books. I'm trying to, reduce those volumes that are not benefiting me. But I'm getting in there. I'm working. I'm consciously getting in there and working the interest library. And the last component of the subconscious mind is the belief garden, right? And that's where our beliefs are stored. It's important to realize that a lot of these things in our subconscious mind have just been handed down from generation to generation to generation to generation to generation. And it's up to us if we want humanity to evolve our own subconscious mind and do what we can to just pass that on. An example of like a belief, and probably an unproductive belief that most of us hold just because we're human beings, and our ancestors go back, 100,000 years or more, I don't know, But way back then, guess what? We had to fight over the water hole. We had to survive. So that's like kind of a really ingrained belief in us. We have to fight for survival. But now perhaps we can shift that into, no, we just need to cooperate with each other. We don't need to fight each other. We can cooperate. And that's something I'm working on in my subconscious mind, is just kind of replacing beliefs and working with my belief garden that way. And that's another reason I like the thank you practice, because as I repeat the phrase thank you in my mind, what I'm doing is I'm growing my plot of gratitude in my belief garden. I'm growing it. I'm telling my mind, again, this is about being empowered, right? I'm telling my mind, don't seek the positive. That's what I'm saying when I say thank you. And it can be a beneficial, good times, bad times. I've used it during interpersonal conflict, engaging, and then I'll just start saying thank you, and it'll just take the edge off and give me like a fresh perspective on the situation. But in general, just the more I practice that thank you practice, the more I'm growing my plot of gratitude in my belief garden. And ideally, as the plot of gratitude grows, it's going to kind of push out more unproductive beliefs. Like my beliefs of blaming others or whatever. So the thank you practice is a super simple, but can be a super profound practice that helps us reprogram or upgrade our subconscious minds. And I should mention the conscious mind, the surface of the lake. When we're feeling relaxed and clear, the surface of the lake is calm, right? It's like glass. But if I'm upset, if I'm full of anxiety, the surface of the lake is like choppy, like there's a storm. And if I'm feeling depressed, the surface of the lake is murky. And that leads me to talk about this sun that's shining on the lake all the time. And that could be seen as the supraconscious mind. Or for those who are spiritually inclined, you could think of that as the God mind. And the idea is if we can consciously take our conscious mind and relax it, if we can find balance in our conscious mind, like I said before, finding moments of stillness, not overanalyzing, finding moments of stillness throughout the day, then the conscious mind is clear. It allows the supraconscious mind's sun, the rays, to actually penetrate into the conscious mind and into the subconscious mind, helping to beautify the mind, actually. So there's that aspect of the mind as well, if you're spiritually inclined, to. So the idea is we need to work with our conscious mind and we have to work with our subconscious mind if we're really going to create, profound change in how we're feeling and in our behaviors, in our thoughts. Maybe just before the music, I just want to mention one other thing, and it's the self-forgiveness protocol, which is really a great technique to use. And I'd mentioned the negative self-talk before, and this is a technique I can use to reduce that in myself. And I've noticed, when I make a mistake, I kind of have been in the habit of beating myself up. How could you be so, blah, 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 like being my worst enemy, right? Like kind of thing. And so what we've done is develop the self-forgiveness protocol, and there's 5 steps to it. And the first step is just in my mind, I'll say, all humans make mistakes. Number 2 is, and this is on the sheet, number 2 is, I am a human. It's like, oh. Number 3, I'm going to do everything I can to learn from the mistake. That's really key, If we can learn from our mistakes, they actually serve some purpose. If we don't learn from them, we're just bound to keep making them over and over. And number 4 is I forgive myself. Number 5, if it was a big mistake, I really try and do optimal breathing for a period of time afterwards, just so I can, ponder what I did and how I want to fix it and how I don't want to do this again. And, but the optimal breathing really clears my mind. It's kind of like a penance thing, almost. But it's optimal breathing, and if I made a mistake with one of my kids, one of my girls, and I said something wrong or whatever, and then I beat myself up and I was like, no, just do the optimal breathing, I'm a human, I made a mistake, I'm gonna learn from this, forgive myself, go into the optimal breathing and try and just hold on to it for as long as I can. I'm not gonna do that mistake again, and the idea is if we can learn from our mistake, if we can't learn from our mistakes, we beat ourselves up, then our self-esteem starts spiraling down. I did that again. Oh, how could I be so, blah, 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 blah. But if we can nip that in the bud and learn from it, do that penance thing, and then bam, and then I'll make new mistakes, but they might be different.
Nature Boy, we added a mantra at the end, is Aham Prema, which means I am divine love. So it's kind of fitting for our time together. Yeah, he made it famous. The person who wrote it was the original hippie, walking around barefoot in San Francisco.
Oakland.
Oakland.
Oakland, California.
The 50s?
Yeah, 40s.
Yeah.
40s, yeah. And he wrote this song and Nat King Cole picked it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had long hair and a robe and sandals and yeah.
The first one.
Perhaps, yeah. One of them.
Well, that's what we heard.
Yeah.
Okay. So when we get to the Aham Prema, feel free to join in. There was a boy, a very strange enchanted boy. They say he wandered very far, very far over land and sea. A little shy and sad of eye, but very wise was he. And then one day, a magic day he passed my way. And while we spoke of many things, fools and kings, this he said to me.
This is a super beneficial practice from a psychological and physiological perspective. And it's a way of just building vitality, building prana in our system. It's a power breathing. I learned it from Wim Hof. I don't know if anybody's familiar with Jeffrey. He's a famous teacher now. But it's a way of working with the breath that I've noticed is like my number one technique. If my mind is like in a place that I don't like, I'll go into power breathing, and it really is effective at quieting the mind down and clearing the mind and just revitalizing the body. So we'll just do 3 easy rounds. Follow along if you want to. Don't feel like you have to. But what I'll be doing is I'll be breathing in through my mouth, out through my nose, and I'll do a breath hold. And I'll just walk you through it. It'll be easy. We'll take it easy. But it's a great way I've used it to help heal injuries. Okay, it's like a lot of people use this for injuries. What was that?
It creates new red blood cells.
Oh, it creates new red blood cells. Yeah, thank you, Jeffrey.
It's great to do the other way, breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth.
What was that?
I've never heard to breathe in
Yeah.
through the mouth and out
Yep.
through the nose. I've always heard, yeah.
Yeah, because you're putting more energy, more effort into the inhalation than the exhalation. So I want to breathe in deep and then just going to let go through the nose. If it's possible, breathe out through the nose and all that. You can go in and out through the mouth as well. Or whatever you want, basically. But this is the way that works best for me. And the more you practice, the better you get. There's lots of stuff on YouTube. I mean, if you're interested in yeah, 3 breath. So we'll just do 3 easy rounds. Follow along if you like. Keep the breathing graceful and fluid. You don't want to force it too much, but this is a great way, and it strengthens the lungs too. Right when COVID started, I'm like, I'm doing this every day, man. I'm going to keep my lungs strong. That was my motto, And okay, so let's start up. Just follow along if you want. And just take it easy. Don't push too hard. Just keep it graceful. And we're starting up. Easy. One more breath. Breathe in all the way. Exhale 20%. Hold. Just feel the buzzing in your body. Slowly exhale. Just notice how relaxed you're feeling. Breathe in, hold. And exhale. Okay, that's 1 round. Round number 2. Let's take it easy. One more breath, breathe in all the way. Exhale 20%, hold. Slowly exhale. Just exhale, exhale. Breathing in, hold. Exhale. Okay, 1 round to go. Just take it easy. If the breath holds too long, just breathe. It's fine. Here we go. Let's keep it graceful. One more breath. Breathe in all the way. Exhale 20%. Hold. Feel the buzzing in your body. That's your prana. Slowly exhale. Notice how relaxed you feel. Breathing in, hold. And exhale. Now just take note how your mind feels right now. Just take note. Take note how your body feels. All right, nice job. For me, I've noticed that this type of work really puts my mind in a meditative state better than anything else. You know, just like during the hold, during afterwards, my mind is just, and when you think of the lake analogy, a meditative state is you're half in the conscious mind, half in the subconscious. So it's a special place to be. And it could be a place where you want to drop in some thank yous or just enjoy the feeling of that presence. It's kind of like a transcendental kind of presence. Thank you. 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 Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, the CrossFit Co-op. Thank you, Universe. Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. 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 Thank you.
To become more involved in the Heart Mind Center, join our community and explore our membership options.
Also, check out our podcast, Mindflow Radio.
Mindflow Radio.